and people
Oh,
like being around
thanks.
positive people.
Thanks. Well, it's certainly not my skill level, you know?
I
Well,
don't
I
know.
think
I think
Thanks
you
so
still
that
you're
much for
supposed to
that
like
saying
might
that,
be
man.
sport.
That's
part
really
of
sweet.
what is, attracting people is that you're not extremely talented at the game. That might be part of one of the reasons why people are able to have a
Relate.
feeling of misery with you. Oh, hey, I'm not able to just figure out the best way to do it, but I can just do it 100 times. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, hey, here's a guy who makes his living. Lots of people watch his videos, and yeah, this schmuck's doing the same thing I am.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's really fun, like, not knowing all of the answers to a particular problem into
Mm.
Diablo immediately, because it means that we can kind of work through it together with chat, you know? Like in the Sorceress 1 to Ubers, we hit so many roadblocks and we were just like troubleshooting constantly, and we
Mm.
finally got there. It was so immensely satisfying. Yeah. But thank you
Or
guys.
like
That's really sweet of you guys to say that.
or like when you're trying to find a what was it, a flawed sapphire
Yeah, oh, chipped.
for 2 hours.
Chip sapphire. It took 2 hours, and then another time we were trying to find an L rune that took over an hour as well. That was dark. That was real dark.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
One of
Now,
the ones I got personally. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pat.
is Diablo 2 the only game that you're playing frequently? I know it's one of the most premier things on your channel, but do you often get into other type of video games or gaming in general?
Yeah, I dabble in. I'll always be a gamer, and I dabble in other games for sure. Like right now, I took a suggestion from my chat, and I downloaded this game called Battle Brothers 2 days ago, and it's got a terrible name. It's not catchy at all, but it's so fun. So I'm hooked on Battle Brothers right now. And then before that, I was playing the latest God of
Easily.
War, which I'm not a huge fan of. I love the franchise. I really deeply love the franchise, but the latest one just didn't do it for me. And then before that, I think I was playing lots of this game called Brotato.
Okay,
Have you heard of
honestly,
Brotato?
I just suggested to Matt, I think the last time I saw him was get Brotato. It's free on Game
Oh,
Pass.
dude,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we got another Brotato in the house.
Dude,
You've played it?
it's super good.
I love
Yeah,
it. It's so fun. It's
I
such a
play a
good
lot of
non-thinky game.
yeah, I do a lot of roguelites and those run-based kind of games. And Brotato is a very in-depth, it's surprising. It's got a lot of different mechanics to it, and they can definitely compound on top of each other. So you can create some very wild builds, or you can just have an idiot with 6 sticks and you don't do anything
Yes.
except run around and just smash everything. Yeah.
It's got so much heart, doesn't it? Dude,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love roguelites. What are your favorites?
So I actually was at one point in the top 30 in Enter the Gungeon worldwide for like a week or so when it first came out.
Dude, I should be interviewing you, dog. That's awesome.
I've actually gotten really good at those kind of games. For some reason, I have pretty bad ADD, and it is just like a flow state. You kind of zone out and you don't even think about it. So Binding of Isaac, I cut my teeth for thousands of hours on that gross game.
Classic.
Along with that, Dead Cells, a little bit different, but similar enough in the same vein. Let's see, Brotato, definitely one of my newer ones. One of my pet games, if you haven't played it, called Nordic Ashes. It's still
I'm writing it down right now.
Yeah, it's on Steam, has a very good art style, mechanically sound, and they are almost weekly putting out updates for it. So that's one of the things that I loved about Diablo as a series, long run, is that they've continued to maintain it, is that they're paying attention to the game. And I think that that is lacking in a lot of other games. Is there something long term in Diablo that's always bugged you that they never quite took care of in a fix?
Oh, something long term in Diablo that's always bugged me.
And don't say stash tabs. That's a cheat. Come on.
It's too easy, isn't it? I mean, I don't know about bugged per se, but things that I would love, I don't think, unfortunately, I don't think they ever will. But I would just love more of it, man. I would love more of it. I would love more of a structured end game to flesh that out. I would love Act 4 to be, finished, not halfway done.
Yeah.
And I would love an in-game rail tracker. I would love that to be inbuilt into the game.
Interesting.
In fact,
like
I would probably prefer an in-game grail tracker. Here's a hot take for you. I would prefer that to a currency tab. I'd prefer that to a what's the thing where you can see items on the ground? What's that called? I'm blanking. A loot filter. I'd prefer that to a loot filter. Yeah. Which I can appreciate. Like I'm out on my own with that one.
No, I want to see all of it. I don't know if you said you were watching with uh-oh, did I freeze?
That's right. You froze on a good frame. You look great, Bob.
No, I'm just really very still. I don't know what's happening. At any rate, that's a great look for me. But when we were interviewing Mr. Llama, I had told him that, I would like to see a return to like there being more randomization. It feels very cookie cutter with builds, with gear. Wow, yeah. I don't know why my computer's so behind at the moment.
We're talking to a guy in
like one of the Chinese movies where my voice isn't matching. Whoa, I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, I'd like to see the rares being. Did you play pre-LOD?
No, dude. I came in at LOD. Yeah, okay. I've actually never played classic.
Rares were that's not even really classic. Diablo 1 is like classic. Did you see they added it to the store, the Blizzard store, by the way?
I saw that. I saw Ginger was playing BattleNet. Yeah, that's cool.
So
I would love a remaster of that game. I would buy the shit out of that.
Yeah,
long story.
Especially if you could move,
Diablo 1 was
move faster than
why I got my career. Yeah. Like I started building computers because of Diablo 1 when it was about to come out. At any rate, before LOD, rares were really the big thing. And if you go back and play the classic version, you'll see that, besides the absolutely minuscule stash tab, not a stash tab.
Yeah.
And rares were truly something. So when you logged in, it was a very different feel. That it didn't matter what you had in the game. There could always be something better that randomly dropped, right? So the rares were truly the top dog piece of gear, and I would like to see. I don't even care if it's in uniques, where they have some, standard affixes and suffixes, but there's other things that could randomly roll on them. But it's like it feels like you complete something. Which is why you have the Grail, right? You're looking for more to complete. Not that you need the gear, not that it's any better, but it just gives you something to shoot for. I'd rather them take that and say that there's always something better that you can get when you log in, right? And spend time hunting. And I miss that for the game. So I would like to see that return. I would like to see rune word charms, charms that have slots to make rune. Yeah.
Dude, I've literally never heard that before. That's a cool idea. Yeah.
Thank you. I would like to see some of that.
Eric has a question for you. Why do you hate LK? I'm not even sure what this means.
Lower Karast.
Okay.
So, like, when I'm doing my 1 to Ubers, usually I'm in a situation where I'm trying to force something. I'm trying to, force an Io rune or force an rune, for example, because I'm not good enough to do it without that rune. If I was someone like Llama or Kano, that would just keep rolling because they don't need it, But a schmuck like me, I need it. So I'm often running contests over and over and over again to the point where everyone's like, oh, why didn't you go here? You'd find it immediately if you went to LK. And I've always got to put my foot down. If you're hunting for a mid-rune specifically, on average, the fastest you'll find it is Countess. But it's become an ongoing thing because I'm so stubborn about it. Yeah. So that's why I hate LK. I don't actually hate LK. But if I'm looking for a mid-rune specifically. Yeah.
I did get involved in it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Fire away, man.
Yeah. I got invested in your Paladin run with the low rune from the summoner.
Oh, yeah.
The chest summoner. And you went hunting for a 5-socket sword or axe, and
Yeah.
you were questioning the military pick. So behind the scenes, without anybody knowing, and you're the only person I've even sent that picture to. I don't know if you saw that in our chat.
No, I saw it. I saw it. Yeah.
But I didn't see you responding. I mean, that took me a bit of time to hunt that
Putting me
Joker
on
down and make.
blast here, Bob.
Yeah, that's okay. I made it in ladder as well,
Yeah.
like to be a little more open. I did that in the ladder season too, so that's legit. That's a legit grief and a military
True.
pick.
Well, now I
So-
know if I ever
Now you know.
have a low rid line around and a 5-socket military pick, we can make a grief in the pick.
There you
for
go.
Ultimate
Answered
style
your question
points.
for you.
Yeah.
Check that
thank
one
you.
off. Job
Thank
done.
you for your sacrifice.
No, it was a pleasure. It gave me something to do. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this. It took me a
Yeah.
while to get it all together for you, but I was so proud when I did it for you.
Yeah.
But,
I'm proud of you
but-
too.
I wonder how many people in your audience, take some of these things, get invested. Like some of the people that we have in the audience clearly are invested in you, and they share some of these memories with you of, leaving horns rot on the ground, or making,
It's my claim to fame.
grief double axes, or finding chip gems, or whatever it is. You're not just making memories for yourself and just earning a living. You're also creating memories for your audience as well. And I wonder how aware you are of that, the investment that people are into what you're doing.
Not really, man, because that doesn't really compute too well with me. It's kind of there's always a little voice in my brain that's gonna be like, oh, nobody cares, nobody cares about you. But sometimes I do feel really guilty when I do a super long stream, like we've gone for like 16 hours or something, and then I fail the mission at the end, so I don't give people that payoff at the end. I do carry that around a little bit. Yeah.
Well,
so I guess
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. And do you want a different take on that?
Yeah.
Now
fire away.
you've given us another episode to get to tune in for the redemption, or the redemption, or the necrodemption.
Well, and also, I mean, in some aspect, it's not the 30 seconds at the end of the stream when the item drops that's important. It's the 16 hours that led up to it. That's the factor. You're giving people a huge length of time of enjoyment. It's not the end goal. You're right. Don't they always say it's not the destination, it's the journey?
Yeah. It's the Menalds you find along the way. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That's
Or
how
the 500 of them.
Right. All the subs you get along the way. That's the real,
No, it truly is. I mean,
right.
it's
You're
like
right.
a story.
And sometimes
book.
I am a little bit, I'm a little bit hard on myself internally. So that's something I got to work on. I feel like I should just come on every week. This will do great for my mental health.